Morning all. This morning we're just going to do a quick little review of the equipment that I have for the channel. We been posting my truck bed on Facebook and put a couple trays in here for bike hauling and basically a bed, basically you can camp in it. So kind of show what that looks like today, and put a link to it in Facebook so that way everybody can kind of see how I build it, things like that. So 2008 GMC Sierra extended cab. I have an ARE topper on it. It's all fiberglass, fairly nice. I've had it on here for a few years and have been wanting to do something like this. Mountain biking came along and it almost fits perfectly. So as you can see, I have two bikes in here. Both of these are size large, 27.5 inch bikes. They fit in here really good. And as you can see, some in there, or even a room to sleep. I'm going to sit you down here. I'll kind of show you how it works. I'll take the bikes out, talk about the bikes a little bit, and then I'll show how it folds up into a double. You can put two air mattresses or a big air mattress in there and sleep a couple people back here if you want, and show you the storage areas, things like that. There's no slides or anything. I have some stops here to hold this. Pull it out pretty far. Have total access to the bikes. Velcro straps I got off of Amazon. Fairly economical. I think I paid like $15 for 40 pieces. This holds the tires. All the rubber's touching the frame, so the hubs are protected. Keep the rotors out, they're protected. Not too bad. I have an air compressor in here. A lot of time these tires will lose air being stuck inside of a hot cab like that. So I just pump them up while they're right here, almost like having a bike stand too. So first bike I have here is a Marin, Quinton, kind of entry-level hardtail. I bought this just to ride on the road, ride bike paths, paved bike paths, gravel ride, things like that. When the trails are messy, I usually just ride this so I don't have to take my Giant out. The pedal's a lot more efficient than what a full suspension does, but it's got basic components on it. Tektro brakes. The shifting and derailleur was actually horrible on this bike, and I didn't even put probably 100 miles on it, and I replaced the derailleur and put a Dior on it, Shimano, along with a new shifter, and just upgraded the pedals. I did put a KS dropper post in here that I had off my 26 inch. I just like having dropper posts, makes it really nice. So this bike is a entry-level bike, so it doesn't have quick release. I have to keep an Allen wrench in here to put the bike together, which isn't really a big deal. I just keep my little 5mm right here on the end, so that way it always stays in there. The other bike, Giant Trance 2. This is a 2017 Fox suspension. Kind of is my baby. Shimano hydraulic brakes. It's got the SLX drivetrain on it. Some people say it's a low-end drivetrain. I like it. I think it does pretty good. The only thing I really upgraded on this bike was I took the 42 tooth cassette off and put a 48 on, and that made things a lot better on climbing. So literally like 5 minutes, your bikes are out and you're ready to ride. Like I said, it's just a 3/8 plywood tray. I have it supported with 1.5 inch by 1.5 inch. I took 2x6s and ripped them all down to make all of the framework for the sides and then the bed. Framework's spaced out close enough together that 3/8 plywood, you can put your knee in the middle of it. You don't have to worry about it breaking. I'm 215 pounds, so it's pretty easy to get up in there. You can crawl around, do what you need to do. So just pull the bike tray out, flip it over, makes the bed, which makes that pretty nice. I have one light right here. I have a two-way switch up there, so if you're up here sleeping, you can flip that light off. I have these two lights right here that kind of shine forward and light up the back of the cab. Like I said, plenty of storage. Keep my air compressor in there, my ratchet straps. Another storage area right there, and then there's a third one up there for stuff that you just need in here but you don't use a lot. Keep a moving blanket in here. There is some occasions that I'll throw a bike in here and just throw it over the tailgate, and those little moving pads make a nice little section. I have a charging port with USB up there, along with 12 volt back here. I have a deep cycle battery underneath here, tucked away with all the wires, just to charge it up every once in a while. Got a fan up here. If you were to sleep in the back of this thing, and if you've ever slept in the back of a truck with a topper on it, you know you have to have a fan on. Even if it's 45 degrees, they still get pretty warm. And just to reverse the process, pull that out, you flip it over. Just barely stick it in there. That gives you plenty of support to put the bikes up. I have a 2-car garage, but it's also my workshop. I do woodworking on the side. These things sit in there and they get covered in dust. So having this little storage area basically all the time is kind of nice. Just put that guy there. As I said, it's just rubber on the frame, so nothing rubs. Can be messy when they're dirty, but this is indoor-outdoor carpet from Menards. Fairly easy to clean up. Set on my Marin. It doesn't have a quick release like the Giant. So I just keep my little 5mm key in the end of the tray here all the time. Makes it nice and easy. This is a heavier bike. Oh, I never set the pedals up correctly though. The through axles that I bought off of Amazon, they're pretty good. If I were to do it over again, there would be a piece of 3/4 inch plywood here at the end to kind of keep these things from rocking back and forth. But they don't touch each other, so that makes it pretty nice on when they do rock back and forth when you're driving. Couple of these Velcro straps on here. Just like that. You know, I said there's no slides or nothing on it like that. It's got a bed liner in the back of the truck. Indoor-outdoor carpet just slides on it very easy. You know, we're mountain bikers, so we should be in pretty good shape. But doing this every once in a while, pushing it in and out, doesn't take a lot of effort. So now it's just secured, locked up. I have a place up here and put my fishing poles. I do see some of that. And we come around, show off my KLX 250. Haven't done very many upgrades to this bike. Took off the factory mirrors, put on handguards if you're riding into trails, and then I got some pretty meaty tires on here. These are Shinko tires. The back tire I went bigger than stock, kind of like a plus tire if you're riding a mountain bike. Gives you a good platform. But I went with a 120 by 100, and I barely have enough room in there. But it works really good. Climb lots of hills. I don't do regular single track because I ride with guys that's got razors and side-by-sides and things like that. And I don't ride the trails often enough to have an aggressive front tire like this. But the difference that it makes for off-roading, I kind of deal with it on the road. Tires are $50 each. They're not really expensive. And I can just, you know, if they wear out fast, I can replace them. But both this front and rear tire, the rear tire is a 505. They call it the cheater tire, but this is not the soft version. This is the harder compound. So I'm kind of seeing how well it'll wear. The front tire seems like it's a harder rubber. It's not as soft as what I think that most motocross tires are. They're not DOT. You're not laying this bike over on its side thinking that you're going to corner. And it's 70 mile max anyways, so as far as the speed, you're not going to be like just screaming away. Anyways, I just wanted to give a couple updates on what we use here, how I haul things. Dirt bike is a dual sport. You'd think that you would drive it to wherever you need to go. Closest off-road place I have is an hour away if you're taking the interstate. I'm riding that bike on the interstate, so we typically will haul it on the back of the truck. This is a Harbor Freight motorcycle hauler. It does well. I have to put extra straps on it to keep it from wobbling back and forth. And I kind of lift it up a little bit with ratchet straps to take really a lot of the tongue weight off. When we're not pulling it with the truck, I put it on the back of my camper. Somebody recently asked, aren't you worried about the weight of this? They rated it 350 pounds. I kind of hope that they've hillbilly rated it so it can handle a little bit more than that. The bumper is welded to the frame of the trailer, so, and then there's really no place to strap this one up. So I just try to keep the movement as minimal as possible by strapping it to the grill, strapping it to the back of the spare tire. So that's a couple things. Now, the last thing I want to show is GoPro's audio is very good. Picks up everything. Even when I'm riding my motorcycle, you can hear how loud the tires are. You can hear when I shift. Bicycles the same way. You can hear when my brakes are bad. Like my Giant's brakes are starting to kind of grind a little bit. I didn't know that until I watched the video. So, and I think one of the things that really helps that keep all the wind noise out is this little Amazon windsock for GoPro 7 and 8. This thing is pretty amazing. I ride with you guys 55 miles an hour on my motorcycle. I have a helmet cam, put it right on the bill of my helmet, and it literally like has no wind noise. I can talk to you normal. I'll probably talk louder than I should because I don't think you can hear me because it's actually really loud coming into my helmet, but works out pretty good. So these things are like $6, and if you're using a GoPro, I recommend them. Instead of gluing little furry pieces all over your camera, just slip this guy on and it works great. Until next video, guys. Talk to you later.